Hello everyone, this is Cookies. I've got turn 25. So while turn 23 was marked spicy by Arco, turn 25 was marked wow by Arco. And I suspect it's either a big battle between Machaca and Yis, or it's a big battle on Pyrene's capital. And we do see a battle report here. Um, so let's go ahead and just guess for that and see if we get something big. All right, so we got Pyrene's army here. We got communicants. We've got this hero with this light lance that does ×3 versus larger. We've got serpent cataphracts. And on the opposing side, we've got two lines of emerald knights. The Regina are out, and there's a big bunch of blood slaves. Now, I have a feeling that this is going to be a pain transfer Sabbath. False God's got a couple of excellent videos on his channel, kind of diving into the details of that. But the short end of it is he might only have two Sabbath slaves. They cast pain transfer. The fatigue on those Sabbath slaves gets offloaded to the blood slaves. And the rest of the mages are probably spamming stuff like lightning bolts. That could be one thing. Or it could be a bunch of imp spam. Because maybe for a pain transfer you'd want 50 to 60 blood slaves if you could pull it off. We'll have to see. And then in terms of gear, there's no gear on either army and no gems, so just those blood slaves. So I imagine over here it's going to be more smite spam, maybe mind burn or soul slay. Body ethereal buffs, like this guy, he's probably just doing body ethereal. We got the communicants, long line of emerald guard, some archers for lance bait. Yeah, let's see how it goes. That's all right. And so right here, we got the two pain transfers. So, and it's two. You only need one, but it's two just in case something happens to one of the mages. And so he's doing the Thunder Strike spam from here. So let's see. It should be clear here. So yeah, two Sabbath slaves. More slaves with pain transfer communions is not actually better. It's in fact worse. You burn through the blood slaves faster. So you want to keep it to as few as possible, like two, maybe three, and not really more than that. So, all right. And you can always go watch the videos on his channel if you want to know more details. But yeah, this is going to be a lot of Thunderstrike spam in front of this cavalry charge. Big attack rear here. This is where he might get mages. A couple of MCAS here are actually pretty useful. He's at least going to get the communicants. Probably didn't get too many of the actual mages unless it was via Thunderstrike. Alright. And I think that's a great example of how a Pain Transfer Sabbath works. So let's go ahead and see the battle report. Yeah, so he only killed 3 of the actual mages, but he does kill 17 communicants, which are 50 gold each. And he loses 2 Sorginas, which is probably actually from these archers, because they did score 6 kills. And he loses 4 of the Emerald Knights. Kills 91 Emerald Guards. So, generally speaking, these are 70. Ideally, you're trading at about 3 to 1, Emerald Guards to Knights to be slightly ahead. But this is, yeah, they just got completely butchered by the Thunder Strikes. Alright. So there's that. And then I'll go ahead and dive into the messages now. So we got a message from Agartha. Well, yes, held to the agreement. I expected they would, but there's always the chance. You should be seeing my first throne battle and first deployment of both Olms and Magma Children the turn you get this message. I have high hopes, especially against trolls. Oh, yeah. You'll probably lose a lot of the Magma Children just because trolls hit so hard. But the trolls will take a ton of damage from them. If he can find a way to maybe get Body Ethereal or cheat Fate, I don't think it's Agartha's strength, but if he could find a way to get stuff like that, anything that would help them survive a troll hit, I think would be pretty good. More protection, maybe like Iron Skin. On the diplomatic front, I have struck a deal with Jotunheim, increasing our nap to a 5, with a carve-out if he ever casts Illwinter. I think that's fair. Nap 5, probably like a voided nap if it's Illwinter, and he just gets to attack then. In cash payments to him in return for the Swamp Cave entrance I took from Yes. Our original agreement way back when had that on his side of the border, while I could make legalistic arguments that I took it from Yes, who took it from Indies. It's a small price to pay for continued security and a good customer on that border. I am hoping for 5 turns of peaceful expansion and build up. What happens after depends on what happens with Yes in Oceania. My treaty with Yes includes the agreement that if he somehow gets beaten by Oceania, I am free to vulture from him, and somehow Oceania and I never did sign a nap. I think he's thinking about attacking Oceania, which to me sounds like the stronger play, because I think Oceania... I know Yes has the reputation for fighting better on land, but fighting underwater, like if you have to go kill an underwater player, I think it would be easier to kill Yes, especially later in the game. So I think maybe teaming up with Yes to kill Oceania might be a good move. Machaka reached out to me this turn about his own worries about Oceania, and I confirmed them and told him about the truce with Yes. He's already had the same feeling about Oceania. They really managed to make no friends. He didn't take my advice to negotiate with Yes, though. He said he'd explain tomorrow his thinking for the initial attack. Maybe he's already explained it to you? He might have, but I don't remember. Those like a month or two ago, and I don't think I really read the expansion messages. Right now, I guess he's clearly out of the running to win, so what's he got to lose? On the most important note, this turn I will exceed 100 Great Olms, bringing monstrosities back from extinction 1 or 2 convocations at a time. Alright. Then we've got Shinuyama. Playing Shinu put me in the mindset of 1 province map move. So I'll give myself a pass for the first time I sent an unsupported army into his full stack of Emerald Knights and lost it. The next time I was careful to count map move and determined I would be safe from the main stack, except I forgot to consider Pyrene's mountain survival. Ugh. Another army gone. Perhaps I've learned my lesson. No promises. Yeah, this has been a pretty feisty Pyrene defense. Alright, Jotunheim. Shouldn't have been greedy and make a profit last turn. The difference is huge between having one during Capstorm or not. We'll attack it next turn. Oh, and made a profit last turn. Okay, so he's regretting not having made a profit. Alright. And then, yes, bit unfortunate to not wipe Agartha's entire stack back on. So I wonder if he'll merge his two forces then. I think that would be a strong way to make the move on the cap, potentially. All right, but unfortunate to not wipe Agartha's entire stack back on turn 23. If any of my thugs had gotten around to the back of his line, that would have been a lopsided victory in my favor instead of a trade. Still enough to bloody his nose and get him out of the fight, though. So mission accomplished, and I get to keep playing the game. Had to abandon Machaca to reposition in front of Oceania, which is also annoying. Machaca has been extremely tentative in his attacks, so I may have a window to recover those lands if I can kill Oceania quickly. I need to anyway to not fall too far behind it. And this is where all the dancing with the Machaca main stack kind of hurt him. He never got a like maybe the Doomstack fight where he could have just put Machaca under siege and left a sieging force there and then turned his eyes to other players. All right. Let's see. I need to anyway to not fall too far behind, so slamming everything into a heavy point buff plus PD dump into Oceania's most likely attack should work. Hope it works, but have to take the chance. Fingers crossed there. All right, and so we have Oceania's big offensive. All right, let's go ahead and check out listless lands. We've got a Siren. This is a lot of PD. I don't know. Was this illusion spam? Yeah, this is not going to work. There's no way this works. Yeah. So that's a turn 65 gold mage. Yeah, there's just no reason to like be doing these little raids with illusions. Like the illusions help, and they can raid later in a war. But why not just do these with like 20 basic infantry or 10 basic infantry? Just give them something to build the illusions around. All right. So we got two mages here. Was something else supposed to be here though? So this raid could work. Or are these two guys going to try and thug it out? Okay, that's a lot of point buffs to retreat. Maybe somebody was supposed to be there. All right. Then we've got Naba. Probably just forgot to put a Morvar thug there. All right, so it's going to ping again. Is it? I don't think it's really that different. Yeah. Then we've got Urstenrad. Okay. This should work. Yeah, like something like this with the illusion spam. I don't know, maybe it would HP route the mages. But I just think it's stronger. Oh, that was here. I just think I don't know, it's a lot stronger if there's something going with the mages, even if it's just some scales troops. Especially for starting a war. Alright, we got a GSS guy. Alright. Then Renthal. Okay, so he's going for the throne. 6 Magma Kids? That's it? Are there supposed to be more? Uh, This could hurt. As a reminder, here's the Bless. So the attack skill helps a lot. They've got the Blood Surge, Enchanted Blood. So 18 attack. For instance, 11 attack. They're not known for their defense. So they're gonna trade blows. Yeah, I thought he was gonna bring like 30 magma kids. Oh no. He's gonna lose this mage too. An E5 mage. Probably would want that back, because if you run up to Petrify, you can really skill check Morvarks with Petrify. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Wait. am I getting a replay bug? Yep. That's so funny. Oh, I know why. I think I opened this on the wrong version of the game. Let me pause now that we've seen this, and let me bring up the actual version. All right, so that's my mistake. All right, let's see how it actually went down. This is so funny. All right, so I imagine what's going to happen is he's just going to get maybe like certain commander snipes. No, he's probably going to get a rout on the trolls. Like one of the big squads. Yeah, this squad routes, which probably routes this squad. Or the militia route, okay. And then we start to chain route. Yeah, alright. Oh, that was close. Okay, that's so funny. Alright, so he actually wins this. Not with terrible attrition either. I wonder if he'll get a kick out of seeing the current patch version of that. And then just really quick, I'm going to go ahead and show this battle with Pyrene over again, and we can just confirm how those mages died. Because it'll probably be pretty quick. I imagine they might do some mist form pretty soon. Oh, he's got those crossbows up there as bait. Or does he burn out the Sabbath? So you can see the pain transfer working. Oh no, they just go on advancing cast, so probably a couple of them get sniped. Yeah, it's an even faster route, honestly. We don't get the attack rear going quite the same way. So that's probably why he didn't maybe get as many mages. Although I don't think he got really a lot in the original replay. We can go ahead and watch that one more time. Just for those who want to see how the actual battle went down. Alrighty. So we got to see those two. I think the other ones are probably fine. We don't need to rewatch those. Let's go ahead and see Jome now. Alright. Nothing happens there. In Umbra, got Oceania going into the caves. Alright, so he's moving back on Loreborough. So he's given Yes a chance to retreat. Yeah, and Yes is going to leave him the empty fort. So that's the second fort that they agreed to in their peace agreement. Then in Banded Hills, he pings the other throne. In Hippocampus's Fortune, got a couple more sirens. They could potentially illusion spam this. Oh, nope. Just a few scales troops. All right. So yeah, 2 sirens down. I think that's 3 total. All right, engulf loss. We got this raid. That should get killed off by Shenu. He kills a few light cav. Doesn't really matter in a few Bakemono. Alright, in Swandi. Alright, another light attack against Yes. In Ivermark. Alright. I think this should go fine. Yeah, the Capricorn just retreated. In... I wonder, was he supposed to be doing something? Or is he just site searching? I think he's a site searching. Alright. In Embracer, got another small group. In Austrias, I keep thinking maybe I can do two turns in one go, but first wars are hard to do that because there's so many battles happening across the map. I think it should get easier potentially as the game goes on. Well, Emerald Guard are just little battle tanks. Let's see, that was here. Alright. And then a Veti Hag. This is Blood Hunter getting attacked. So he's trying to get his blood hunting going a little. Higher Dominion is the way to prevent these. So he probably just needs to push his Dominion more. And we got some Brigands attacking him. Maybe we'll get another complaint about that. And then, oh, a Troll King attacks Pythium. This, in some ways, I would consider an opportunity. And shame on you, game9, for not renaming your prophet. Okay. So this, oh man, it's on the Mist-Covered Highlands too. So he's missing out on 5 gems a turn. It cuts one of his lines of reinforcement, and it's a long way around each way. This Bogatin army, I'm not sure where this is going. Maybe trying to go here. But this is a very dangerous Pyrene stack. It does take this cave though, so it cuts. No, it just doesn't cut anything. But does cut this cave income from Pyrene. But yeah, I think this is an opportunity. I know it's costing him a lot of gems and is a really strategic province. But researching Enslaved Mind and trying to steal a lot of these trolls, including a Troll King, would be huge, I think, for Pyrene. I think he should try to steal this stuff, but we'll see what he ends up trying to do. Alright. So yeah, this fort's getting given away. We've got the new peace agreement between Agartha and Yes. It means Yes can mass more stuff in Osenrad. Oceania takes all these gems. And without any defense from Yes, Yes tried to mass here for a big battle, but losing some initiative to the small expendable raiding groups. All right. Does at least counter raid here and picks up 5 gems in return, so it's not a complete loss. All right. And then the Trogs have still got this Palisades under siege, which I think is funny. All right, so we'll see if we get a big attack or a big battle between Yis and Oceania. Oceania might not know about all this stuff because Oceania's got glamour. He should see the druids though and know that the main stack is probably here. Yes, was right. Machaca was a little bit timid. Main army is in Machaca, so he's just kind of counter raiding a bit. He might sense that there's space now. Maybe he might start testing some of these provinces and Cliff Coast with raiding groups. If he locks down the Palisades, I think the main army will try to move up. This gives Agartha the Throne of Gaia, which is a huge pickup. Gives him growth 2, which is great for Agartha. And then he's potentially going to pick up Windmasters with the Throne of Air. Air Shield on Agartha is very nice because they don't have traditional ranged troops. And he gets Flying Air 2s, which is a great capability that Agartha generally doesn't have. So, I mean, these are both tremendous thrones for him. I think he'll love getting both. Also, it's the Throne of Gaia, so we're probably going to get a bunch of indie attacks now because he's going to claim that. He might wait to fort it. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Moving over to Jotunheim and Nabat, I was kind of hoping he would combine these two forces and then just move on the cap. I don't think there was any reason not to. I mean, he might not get pushed, but Nabat could try to do some sort of death march if he really wanted to. Or just try to kill half of the army and then hope he can, like, kill the other half. The other thing, too, is by patrolling, he's not getting his Bronze Colossus back. Because 9 Mukaribs is 18 holy checks. This is 19, 21, 23. So he's got 23 holy checks. If he had maybe done some Call God and not been as concerned about the PD dump, he could have potentially been pretty close to getting his Pretender back. I know 49 PD is really valuable. I don't know how valuable it is versus Jotunheim. And potentially, maybe trading some of your gem stockpiles for kit and getting your Bronze Colossus back might be better. I don't know if there's a way to protect the Pretender from Smasher thugs, but if you've got, the rest of your army around the Pretender, that could also potentially help try to protect him from thugs. So I'm a little bit torn on how this cap defense is getting done. And then Pyrene, a really great capital defense, a really great showcase of pain transfer tech, which is known, but it's not something I see used very frequently. And I think it's a great tool in the, in like the toolkit for Blood Nations that they can pull out, where if you've got 50 to 100 blood slaves and a bunch of mages in a fort, you can just pull that out and, have a lot of mages really just cranking through whatever they want to do. And that could be like 50 fire elementals, like 50 air elementals. Here it was like 50 thunder strikes. So really great showcase there. And he's now killed 3 armies So this is certainly not a bloodless adventure for Shenu and Pythium. All right. And I think that's most of it. We'll go through graphs really quick. So Pythium's now out in front. Shenu's flat. Hasn't really gained much from Pyrene. Pyrene's still on the downtrend along with Yis now. For forts, Shenu is up. So continuing to build more and more forts coming online. That means more production, more dieback of mono, more income from administration bonuses, although it's a pretty small income boost relative to like the income of nations, but it can be meaningful. Gem income, Shinu is tops, but Agarth is going to start catching up here, especially claiming thrones and getting some guaranteed throne income. Blood income, we see a little bit from Jotunheim there, including that assassination. Research, we've got Oceania out in front. We've got I'm curious what it'll be, but we haven't seen it yet. Maybe Shark Attack could be good. All right, and then Pythium on Dominion. Army size Pythium took a beating this turn. He's now mostly tied with Shiniyama. Pyrene's still falling, but really giving some nice bloody noses for it. And then, yeah, I think that's it for this one. Looking forward to a potential fight here, maybe. He's got 22 PD, so I think he's incentivized to stay put. Up to Oceania to push. And yeah, I think that's it for this turn. I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next turn. Have a good one.